Hey, y'all, welcome to another player interview. Today, I'm Eddie Benningfield. I'm the executive director of the Runners Rising Project. And today we are super blessed to have number 58 from UTSA's football team, Terrell Haynes. He's an offensive lineman. He's a super senior, comes from Arlington, Texas. Uh, Had a pretty outstanding season this last season, and going in is looking like he's going to have a pretty phenomenal year, um, holding down part of the offensive line moving into the 2022 campaign. So without further ado, Terrell, welcome. How you doing?
Good to be here.
Awesome, man. So yeah, right before we were talking earlier, we were talking yeah, your dad and I actually ended up running into him. I just had a conversation with him, just kind of one of the real cool dude at the hotel y'all were staying at out when you were all in El Paso playing UTEP. But but yeah, so how was your dad growing up? Was he a pretty good dude?
Of course, yeah. My dad, he's the best dad in the world. He was always there. He showed me what it's like to have a good, strong work ethic, and how to care for a family, and just he taught me how to ride a bike, throw a football, anything you could think of.
Nice, man. Yeah, that was super awesome. We kind of got that vibe from him too, that like you were his world kind of thing, and he was super proud of you. Um, but props to your dad. Had a very unique conversation with him, so that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But cool, man. So spring ball is over. What was probably the biggest takeaway that you had at kind of with everything winding down during your y'all's spring practice this year?
Really, the biggest takeaway to me was just taking our game to the next level. So,
Hmm.
as you know, the starting five or returning starting four, we have a lot of games played under our belt. We've seen a lot of stuff, and we know the offense very well. So, it's time for us to take that next step in becoming an elite offensive line. Meaning, such as like if we see a pressure alert, that we got to have the confidence for ourselves to check, like for example, the pass pro into that pressure and be able to
Yeah,
execute and pick it up.
definitely. So it seems like at least kind of watching the spring game, it seems like y'all doing a lot more spread this year, especially with the wide receiver core that you have. Has there been a kind of like a shift from at least from y'all, usually primarily kind of a running team, especially with Sincere McCormick over the last couple of years, and now kind of shifting to more of a pass protection unit? Like how's that transition been, or has there been a transition?
No, so our identity is always going to try to be established in the run. Coach Traylor firmly believes that, and it's part of our culture pillars, and it's part of who we are, and it's part of the triangle. So we're always going to establish the run. But we are working on other things to get our dominant receivers the ball and stuff like that.
Copy. Well, shoot, man, sounds like I'm in violation of a culture pillar. So by suggesting that, but my apologies there. No, but it
No
was pretty
problem.
awesome to see y'all spread it out a little bit. Definitely, I know a lot of people were talking. It's like, oh wow, this is kind of cool watching. But cool. So yeah, I guess continuing on some of the football questions. Like, what's the one thing that you take the most pride in your game?
Um, Really, truly, just being a guy that my teammates can count on. I don't miss a lot of games. I don't plan to miss a lot of games. And so, being able to play left guard and right guard and just being an anchor for my teammates is something I really pride myself on.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So just going way back, what got you into football originally? Because I know you said your dad taught you how to throw a football. Was that kind of where that originates from?
Yeah, so my journey to football was a little different. We were
Okay.
staying in California, and Pop Warner football is a little different in California as well as middle school. There's no middle school football other
What
than
part of
like,
what part of California were you from?
San Diego.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So other than like, outside leagues, there was no like, in school, just football leagues. And so I was actually playing basketball for a long time. And then we moved to Texas my freshman year.
Yeah.
And I told my mom, I was like, I kind of want to try football. And, I've always liked watching it. And I already had a favorite football team. I just never really had the opportunity to play it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I got out there and I thought it was fun to just go out there and make contact, hit somebody. Cause I
Yeah,
mean, I did it
yeah.
in the backyard with my cousins and stuff. And so, yeah, that's really what it was.
Nice. So what, just out of curiosity, what took you all from San Diego out to Irving, or not Irving, Arlington?
My dad just had a better job offer.
Okay,
So,
good deal.
yeah.
Nice, nice. And I didn't know, because I know there's a lot of, I know at least in San Diego, there's a pretty big naval presence there. And I think at one point, I think there still is it's like a reservist naval base up in like in Fort Worth. So I didn't know if there was a military connection there or not. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, neither here nor there.
But
But it's cool. So who was your favorite team growing up then?
I'm a Steelers fan. Die hard.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan.
nice.
So
How,
my uncle, he got me into the Steelers. He bought me like a little football. He kind of brainwashed me, but and then I really was watching the TV and I saw Troy Polamalu and he was just all over the place. And then that became my favorite player. And now it's my
yeah,
favorite team. So
for sure. Dude's hair by itself.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, man. Did you get an opportunity to ever go to one of the games?
I have not, but I will make my way there at some point. I would love to go see Heinz Field.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so I'm unfortunately, I'm not sure a hapless Lions fan, just because I got some familial ties up in Detroit. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, it's been rough. I'm as excited as I am for Matt Stafford to have done as well as he did with the Bengals. It really pains me to see that that was our guy, and clearly
yeah.
that talks about the cultural shenanigans, if it were, that does not exist within the Lions organization. So I'm glad that he did well, and hopefully they can figure something out this year.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but talking about culture, so uh, you talk about your dad kind of being that pillar for you growing up. How did that kind of influence and stuff make kind of the transition when you came onto the team, when there was a coach swap out and Coach Trailer came in, and you all started really harping on culture?
Well, so my father, he's one person I always trust with everything. I talk to him on a daily basis, and so when the new coaching staff came in, I was a guy who wasn't really playing much, and so I told him I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't think they'll play me. I don't have much film. Yada yada. And he told me, he said, well, you have what it takes. We know, your capabilities and your skill level, and give it a shot. And he told me it's a brand new start for everybody, and I can make the most out of my opportunity. And so I took that on my shoulder and went to work.
That's awesome, man. So what's probably the biggest single lesson like you've learned during your time at UTSA?
Athletically or just in life?
Both.
Okay, well, athletically, uh, football wise, I had to learn how to practice. Honestly, coming from high school, I was kind of a going through the motions at
Hmm.
practice because I didn't want to use my full force on my teammates, and so it took me a while to break that mold of every rep of practice should be a game rep, and it's okay if you and your team, if maybe you hit your teammate too hard, because it's better that your teammate get hit hard than somebody else hit them hard in the game.
Yeah,
And so
do it.
that's kind of
Yeah, it's like do it when you're when the reps essentially it doesn't count. It's all getting you prepared and ready.
right. And so that was my biggest thing I had to work on, was treating every rep at practice like a game rep. Secondly, at UTSA, thing I've learned is just how to talk to people. I'm not usually one person who's just like outgoing type of person, but being in the San Antonio community, with the volunteer work I've done and being with this team and stuff, I've had to come out of my shell and really learn how to talk to people more. And so I appreciate that, for my life and being able to communicate better.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So volunteer works. What have you been doing?
Oh, so I volunteer when the team, presents opportunities to. So a lot of the times I like doing a lot of things that involves kids.
Okay.
I have brothers and sisters myself, and I know how influential, athletes were to me when I was in elementary school and middle school when they came and talked to us. So I always like to give back to the younger generation just because you never know who's looking at you, who's
Yeah.
receiving your message, who might need to hear it.
No, for sure. So, are you in the middle of the kids? Are you the oldest? How's the
So
stack work out?
yeah, I'm the oldest. I am
Nice.
the oldest. Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters?
I have one brother and two sisters. So
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess out of the four of y'all, who gave your parents the biggest run for their money?
I probably have to say it's my youngest sister right now. She's a feisty diva. Uh, so yeah, my sister Eva is probably gonna, give them the most run for their money.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. So obviously you just had your birthday. So real quick, very belated happy birthday. Super.
Thank you, thank you.
Did you do anything for it?
I did not. I really just spent time to myself, with family, just hanging out, chilling. I'm not a big go out kind of guy.
Fair enough.
My teammates, they hung out with me a little, played the game, etc. And
Yeah.
that was really it. It was a good birthday to me.
Good deal. Good deal. Did you get anything?
Yeah, my mother, she got me some really good clippers. So
Awesome, man.
for my face and whatnot. So I'm gonna use those.
Dude, that's legit, man. That's awesome. So you set up the team barbershop?
Nah, not yet. Yeah.
um yeah, no, that's unfortunately there's really not much that I can do from a but from a barber perspective or anything like that, but that'd be kind of awesome. Y'all set that up for you guys. But cool. So keep to yourself. That's kind of like your ideal day. What when you do have time to yourself when you're not taking care of practice or school, what are you usually doing?
Honestly, I play video games. I'm a
Okay.
big Madden 2K guy,
Nice.
or I'm with my dog, chilling, walking him, playing fetch with him, anything.
What kind of dog do you
Uh,
have?
I'm a bully, so he's a bulldog
Oh,
and pit
nice.
bull
Yeah.
mix.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is he is he
sweetest
like a
dog.
yeah, is he like a blue or
So he's gray, or he's brown and white,
okay.
and just a big ball of love. It's
Yeah,
just he doesn't realize how big he is, and so he always wants to be underneath me or in my lap somehow. He's just a mess.
that's awesome, man. Yeah. So I never grew up with him, but I've always had I have a friend who has an American staff, and that dog, he's 12 years old. But he is a monster. He's towards the end of his life. It's actually kind of sad. But like
Mhm.
dude's head was like, kind of as big as my noggin. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I had some friends of mine who they had a pity, and unfortunately she passed away of cancer, but like 50-pound dog, like 50, 75-pound dog, real stocky, full of muscle. And she would just try to crawl into your lap, go to sleep,
yeah,
wanting that love. And we are eventually going to get one when, probably once we're done with the military. But there was like, so I'm out in Del Rio and there's strays all over the place and dogs just get out. And like 3 or 4 times, like we've had this pity like come up to our house, sweetest dog, but unfortunately we've got a German Shepherd puppy, so it's just a little bit too much
yeah.
dog. But feel you on the pity love though, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's his name? How old is he?
His name is Xerxes, and he's 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Legit, legit.
So, and Coach Trailer, he saw me walking my dog one time. It was Easter weekend, and I was taking him to the field. We were going to play catch. He was coming out off of a workout, and he saw my dog. He met him, loved on him, and he said he looks just like you. And ever since then, he's called me Xerxes ever since. And so, you know, he's a big nickname guy. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I got my nickname. So if you ever hear him in an interview talking about old
Well,
Xerxes,
shoot. Okay.
that's me. So,
All right,
yeah.
man. We are totally going to be spreading that far and wide. So Xerxes, all right, I like it. I like it, dude. All right, so you've seen 300 though, right?
Of course, yeah, I have.
Yeah, yeah. Is that where the name comes from?
Well, so yeah, I was a big into you know, Greek history and mythology and stuff
No
like
kidding.
that, and
Okay.
so I had a few names growing up that I wanted my dogs to be because I never had a dog as a child, and so I just liked the story, the battle, and you know how he was able to, you know, conquer as much as he did,
Yeah.
and so I thought it'd be a cool name for my dog, unique.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I was a history major. I went through UTSA. I didn't really focus on the Greek on that stuff, but like the Greek mythology and stuff. That's super cool. And yeah, it's amazing what the Persians were able to conquer. Like it's amazing,
Hmm.
like looking at maps and knowing that like what they knew of the world was so small, and the fact that they were able to do it. And then marathon, and obviously everything kind of focusing around the Spartans and stuff occurred. But yeah, that's a super strong name, man. I like it. So, are you so Greek mythology? Are you a Percy Jackson fan?
Of course, yeah, big time.
Nice, nice. So you know that dude, that author is a UTSA alum, right?
Really? No, I did not know
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
That's
he
cool.
totally went to UTSA. I think I want to say back in the 60s or 70s. I think maybe he's 80s. Yeah, I think 80s. But
Yeah.
Joe, do you have his name, Joe? Because I totally am blanking on it. All right. Anyway, yeah, cool. He's looking it up right now. But yeah, cool. So what video games are you playing right now?
In
So
the
you said
2K,
Madden. Okay.
I'm in the 2K right now. You know what I mean? My boys, we go into the rec. It's kind of like, you know, you control your own players, 5-on-5. And so we get really into that, especially with
Nice.
playoff basketball going on right now. You know, we all want to get some buckets. So
No, for sure. Who are you going for in the playoffs, or do you have an NBA team?
I don't have an NBA team. I used to be a Heat fan, but
Okay.
I will say I am rooting for the Suns.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Um, cool. So yeah, the Heat, man, I'm a Spurs fan, so I still have significant heartburn over the 2013 playoffs in that Ray Allen three.
Oh man, yeah. I remember watching
Yeah.
that when I came back from the YMCA as a kid and just
Uh,
going bananas. And my mom was like, "What's going on?" And I was explaining to her and watched the replay. It was just a great time for
yeah. That
me.
was it was
Probably not for
beautiful.
you though.
No, I only got 4 hours of sleep, only tossed and turned. And like so out here, like so this is my second time being out in Del Rio. I was like the only person in the office who was from San Antonio, and like um so one of the civilians walked in and he looked miserable. And I just looked at him and I was like, "You watched the game last night?" And he just looked at me and we just sighed, and we knew no one else was tracking or cared. But yeah, man, it was kind of God, what was it? The Robert Ory three back in. I don't know if you were watching the NBA back in like 2005 when we were playing the Pistons, but kind of had that same vibe, and just
Yeah,
uncovered point guard in the corner and sank it.
tragic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great for y'all, but I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. But cool. So um, kind of moving along and stuff. So looking into going into next year, and obviously, are you in the race right now?
I am. I
All
am
right.
in the team room. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the graphics that y'all have that they have over there for you guys. I like it. That looks freaking nice. So
Yeah.
what's probably your favorite thing about the race?
Definitely the meeting rooms, like
Okay.
position meeting rooms for us. Because you know, in the old meeting room, you really take for granted the silence and being in your own meeting. And so where we were at, we were all meeting at the same time, and you could hear the corners meeting, you could hear the receivers meeting, you could hear the running backs meeting, you could hear the D lines meeting. And so being in our own space has really been able, I think, to help the guys lock in and focus on what they're learning and limit distractions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that I'm sure that definitely helps. So you don't have like the paper thin walls and stuff, and you guys can just kind of hone in. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, night and day difference, I'm sure, from the step up in facilities.
Yeah. The training room is also great. Being able to walk into that cold tub room, the hot tubs, and all the stuff that the trainers are able to utilize for us now, that's also great.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So moving into next year, what is probably your single biggest goal that you want to see for yourself, like achieve on the field?
Well, last season I made honorable mention. I kind of take that as you were almost good enough for all conference. So I really do want to make the next step and become a, first or second team all conference player.
Nice. Yeah, man. Definitely. I hope that you accomplish that.
Thank you.
Genuinely mean that. So I guess what was probably, so you're talking about making that honorable mention and looking kind of forward. What is one thing from last year that was probably like your favorite moment that you want to try to what's I'm thinking of the right word here? I don't want to say relive, but yeah. So what's your favorite moment from last year? Sorry.
Okay. I gotta say, I mean, there's no better feeling than winning the championship.
Yeah.
But the UAB game was a close second, and so I remember, I remember being on the field. We got the ball back, and everybody was calm. We had full faith in everybody. We just knew if we go out and do our job, everything will be okay. And
Yeah.
so we get all the way down there. Frank throws great balls, and we're doing a great job. And we get that last play call in, and as an O line, we were not too very sure about that. Because in the O line spirit, we just wanted to push it in, boom,
Yeah.
game. And so I remember Maka, the center,
Yeah.
he was saying, okay, everybody, let's just execute. And so he got all our minds right. The plays, about to get called, whatnot. I start focusing on my assignment, and the ball is snapped. We're going through the play. I had no idea all of that was going on behind me. The dribbled ball back to the quarterback, Sincere almost kicking it, Frank having to pick it up off the ground. And all I remember was I was hearing the crowd. Then the crowd kind of went silent. I felt the defender let up. I let up. Next thing I know, I hear the crowd cheering. I don't know what happened. I look to my left. Oscar stands up with the football, and I know we won the ball game.
That's
and
awesome.
So I didn't see that it got tipped, and he caught the tip. I just knew that we won the game. So
yeah. So where I was sitting last year, I've been hanging out in that on the second level in the end zone, and it became a kind of thing my dad and I would do, and just watching that catch. Like I was having heart palpitations, so I know a lot of people were, and you could just because you couldn't really see what was going on, but you could just see like the wave of as everybody like realized what had happened. Like people just started like it was kind of crazy, like a shockwave of just seeing everybody just get to their feet.
yeah,
And man, there were tears, there were people crying. It was awesome that we got to be able to kind of celebrate with y'all and see you guys take care of that on y'all senior day. But
yeah.
it was legit, man. It was legit. Hopefully we got a couple more moments, maybe not to the same like
No, let's
call it a
not
dog
cut it
heart
that
stopping.
close. Yeah.
But no. So what's your relationship like with y'all's coaches? So besides like from the position perspective.
The coaches, they do a great job, coaching us up and loving on us. I don't feel like there's any coach on the staff that I just can't talk to about just anything. I could walk up to Coach Graham, the corner coach, and start talking about the NBA what I think, and he'll have a genuine conversation with me. I feel like I could walk into any coach in the staff and just, if I'm feeling down or if I have something on my mind, and they would sit down and talk with me and genuinely care for how I'm feeling.
Yeah. No, that's really good that they have. Sounds like safe to say, kind of like definitely a family environment with all of them.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think it's kind of awesome too that with Matt Maddox, y'all's position coach kind of stepping up and being taking that co-offensive coordinator role. So I don't know, I think that's kind of neat that kind of the O line is kind of, almost in a way you all usually do run the show anyway, but definitely kind of in an official capacity running the show.
Yeah, it's great for him. We were so excited for him when we heard the news, after the season. And, it's just a great environment being in that room. We break every meeting on family, and we really do mean it.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, man. So when you reach out to us, you said that, obviously you want to get involved in the San Antonio community and stuff. So obviously you're talking about the kids. What like being around San Antonio, what's one thing that you really appreciate about the city?
Just the way that people have received me since being here. As you know, I've been here all 4 years of my college career, and so
Yeah.
any time that we've volunteered or we've helped someone do something, I've never felt unwelcome in the city. When I wear my UTSA gear, I've never felt kind of disgust. Maybe if I'm in the UIW area, but other than that, I really appreciate how the city has welcomed me and given me a chance to pour in the kids and
Yeah.
obviously my scholarship opportunity.
No, definitely. So what's your major?
I'm a kinesiology major.
Okay, nice. So out of your class that you've taken over the last couple of years, what's probably the one class that sticks out the most to you and that you feel like you've learned the most from?
It'd probably be biomechanics.
Okay.
It was really challenging, and I didn't know all the stuff I learned about motion and how the body moves and all the intricate workings. And so it was a challenging class, but I'm glad I was able to get through it. I'm glad I was able to take it.
Nice. Did you learn anything from that we were able to actually take onto the field?
Well, so being in a kinesiology major, you learn a lot about the body, and so sometimes when my teammates tell me hey, my back is kind of tight, yada yada, and I'm like, well, do you stretch your hamstrings out, because that all leads to tension in your back and stuff, and I'm like, wow, like I'm actually using what I know from class, and I'm helping my teammates out. So
yeah, it's legit. Cool. So obviously from the athletic side, making sure everybody's taken care of when you're sort of going back and taking care of yourself. Where are you getting a meal in San Antonio? Like what's your go-to restaurant right now?
Go-to restaurant. I'm big on breakfast.
Okay.
I just found First Watch not too long ago. It's
First Watch
first
is
time
good.
having it.
Yeah.
And I really like it. So probably First Watch. Other than that, I'm gonna have to go
Pluckers. Okay. I respect it. So breakfast wise, man, what do you usually get? Like what are you in the mood for usually?
I gotta, unless I'm eating cereal or like oatmeal or something, I gotta have eggs for breakfast. So I'm always get some eggs, like bacon, and I'll interchange between like pancake, waffle, or some French toast.
Fair enough. I respect it. All right. So what does leadership mean to you? And obviously I ask you that kind of with the auspice of you stepping up and being coming back as a super senior.
Uh, Leadership means to me is being a guy that sets an example. I'm not one of those guys who's just like a rah, really motivational guy, but the guys do understand that, if I'm speaking on something, I mean it from my heart, and that, what I'm saying to them is genuine. And so I
Yeah.
genuinely believe in, leading by example, and not only leading by example, but, you have to be able to bring somebody along with you. And Coach Traylor said that in our meetings, and it really stuck with me. And so now, not only am I focused on myself being a leader, but helping other guys become leaders and doing things that leaders do themselves.
Yeah. So essentially, you're functioning as a mentor for a lot of these younger guys that are starting to come up.
Correct.
So, do you have a mentor?
I did. Guys like Don Pastucci and Jalen Galmore, that those guys, they left.
Yeah.
But those were my bigs essentially. And it was really critical for me at that time when I was young. There were guys that I could voice my opinion to, and they would have my mind in the right place, and it all led me to being able to lead for these guys.
Yeah.
And so in the O-line room, we do have, veteran guys. We have these things called accountability groups.
Okay.
And so basically we have a list of like 3 or 4 young guys that basically, like, if they miss study hall or if they're late, we get points deducted, punishments, etc. So basically it's just a way for us to take care of them. They take care of us. And once again, execute on that family feeling in the O-line room.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you said it's 3 to 4 man teams essentially.
Yeah. So so all 4 veterans, me, KD, Maka, Makai, we each have 3 to 4 people under us, younger O linemen that we're accountable for.
Man, have you ever read Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink?
I have not.
So if you're when you're working out, you want something to listen to, just kind of it's so basically what it is. It talks about leadership principles. So Jocko Willink was he was a Navy SEAL. And he's got that, and then he's got another book called The Dichotomy of Leadership, talking from the Extreme Ownership piece. And it's also out of, I want to say it's the Army Small Unit Tactics handbook. You can find it on Amazon or however you want to get books or whatever. But it talks about, like, you can only usually you lead teams, or listen to a military, it goes down to the smallest team is a team of like 3 or 4 people, and usually have one squad leader who sits on top of that. So that's kind of cool to see y'all breaking down and essentially having these small little teams to help grow your levels, if you will.
Yeah.
But so two guys who were your mentors. You said Pastucci?
Yeah. Don Pastucci, Jalen Galmore. Those were my guys. Those were like the older guys I looked up to in O-line.
What was one lesson that they pass to you that you're like holding on to and passing on to the guys that you're helping them bring up?
Well, especially Dom, he was more of a special teams guy, but I never saw him complain. I never saw him, down at practice. And, he was always a beacon of light, and so what I really took from that is, even though, you might not be getting what you want, or you see that somebody's not getting what they want, you can still be that light for them that brightens their day, that, takes their mind off of it, or just, don't let it affect you, and make the best out of your day today.
Yeah, because you only got so much time on this planet.
Correct.
Better make the most of it. Well, cool, man. All right. So obviously we are here because this is an NIL opportunity for you. But what are your thoughts on NIL?
I think it's a great thing. Colleges make a lot of money off of student athletes.
Yeah, they do.
In more ways than one. And so I think it's good for, athletes like, that have a true brand, a true, a fan base about them, that they should start receiving, incentives and what's due to them.
Yeah, so I think that's awesome. I know today the university announced they're doing that partnership, which I'm forgetting I'm blanking on the name of the company, but basically it's a licensing for you guys to essentially sell jerseys, right?
Yeah, I saw that. So I think we're gonna have a team meeting about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think I know it allows us to wear, UTSA gear and UTSA logos within our NILs because essentially we have an NIL with the university.
Right.
But yeah, that'll be exciting. I really hope they start selling jerseys out the store. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just even other sports jerseys. Like I'd love to have a UTSA baseball jersey and wear a baseball jersey.
Who
So
is out of the baseball team? Who you have a favorite player out there? Somebody you're close to?
well, so yeah, I talked to Luke a few times.
Okay.
Met him at through one of my other teammates. He's a really cool dude, and so I support him, and I talk to him every now and then when I see him in the weight room, and
Yeah.
he's doing a really good job, and so shouts out to the baseball team.
Yeah, man. I know there's a couple of us are already starting to joke about getting tickets to go to Omaha this year. So hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think like between Luke, John Tapia, and Ian Bailey, like man, those are like the three that I'm super excited about and seeing what they
yeah.
can produce. But so going back to the NIL stuff, how has the NIL impacted you, like outside of this deal?
Oh well, so I don't have any. This is my first NIL
Oh,
deal,
awesome. Okay,
and
yeah,
yeah, but it's just been exciting to work with. Currently, right now, the guys as an O line, we decided that it's best that we try and get something as a unit.
yeah.
It could be one of the first things done, and we're trying to make it something built to last. And so we've made it a 210 Hogs brand for ourselves, and we're currently working with one or two partners.
Okay,
And so it's been great for them to vote me as the spearhead of that. And so working
yeah.
with that, working with the company we're working with, and getting it sorted out soon, it's really been fun, and it's really been adventurous terrain to travel.
Dude, that's awesome. Do you have a website for it? Like, or would you all like officially like kind of announcing all that stuff?
So we'll announce it all when all the contracts get signed and um, everyone's clear on what we're doing, and the partners sealed and signed and whatnot. And so it'll be a working project, signing with other people.
Yeah,
And so it'll be pretty cool. We'll sell T-shirts and stuff like that, and have other
nice,
ways.
man.
But the thing that makes it the most special is that it doesn't just support scholarship athletes or
Yeah,
the offensive linemen who are on the field. Like, it's for every offensive lineman that's on the roster, walk
good
on
deal,
to
man.
starter to backup.
Nice. Well, cool. So hopefully we can't wait. I can't wait to see that. Hopefully y'all
Yeah.
do some good stuff with it. But I guess personally, and then also I guess for your fellow linemen, like what kind of deals are you looking for? If a business were to approach you or someone or like someone local in San Antonio is like, hey, we want to sponsor you. What are you looking for?
I'm really open to a lot of stuff. I'm a man. I like doing a lot of things. I don't mind, um, going to events or doing fundraisers or stuff for the kids. That'd really be ideally, if I could do something around that. It helped me give back to the kids once again, and it's something I enjoy doing because I always think about my brothers and sisters when I do it.
Yeah,
As far as the O line goes, them boys love food, so anything involving food, I'm sure the O line would love to get into it.
definitely, definitely. Oh man, you all can like do some damage to a barbecue shop.
Yeah,
Um, cool, man. All right. So, kind of one last question. You've seen Squid Game, right?
yeah.
All right. So, if you're on Squid Game, what what would you probably be the best at in making sure that you're going to survive?
Oh, that's tough. Probably have to be. It probably had to be the red light, green light, simply because that's I would have been hesitant at first, and I wouldn't have known what's going on, and then watching what then happened to other people, I'd have navigated my way through that. But just that, deal with the cookie and getting the shape out, I would, yeah, I don't think I would have made it.
No,
That was just
that was
tough.
stressful watching.
Yeah,
I still can't believe the old man, like at the tail
yeah,
end there. That was that
yeah,
because I was thinking like the entire time like it was like one of like the stepfather or whatever, like he was tied to it. I was trying to make that connection, but never would have thought that
yeah. It blew me too. It
yeah.
was a really good show.
Yeah, it was. All right. So say all of a sudden the O line, like y'all's whole position team, like it's a transport. You guys are all in Squid Game. Who you tagging up with to make sure that y'all are gonna get to the end, and who you watching out for to make sure that they don't try to off you quick.
Oh man, that's tough. They're all my guys. Um, I don't have to worry about nobody really, snaking me or stabbing me in the back. But teaming up with, I'd probably have to go with Maka. You
Fair
know,
enough.
I'd probably have to go with Maka. You're a smart guy. I feel like we can work a lot of stuff. So somebody, if in the Squid Games, we can protect each other. So yeah.
Respect. Yeah. Keep those barricades up in the middle of the night when people try to pull out knives and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, hey, listen, Terrell, that's the end of the questions I have for you. But dude, I just wanted to say thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with me. So, real quick on social media, where can we find you?
At T Haynes, 2 underscores and capital T and a capital H. That's my only social media. I wasn't big on Instagram, and so I haven't started, but I am on Twitter. I am active on Twitter.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool. Then for everybody else. So if you're looking for me, I'm Eddie Benningfield. You can find me at EDDIEB1256 on Twitter. Instagram is Pelon, PELON_EB. And then Runners Rising is at runners_rising at most, if not all of all the major social media platforms. But anyway, thank you all for watching out, and we'll look forward to see Terrell doing some great things into the 2022 season. So Terrell, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.